Hi guys, it's Holly here at Faces and welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today I'm here with the beautiful Maya from Maya Permanent Makeup. Maya, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
No problem. Hi, everyone.
So let's just kick things off by talking a little bit about your background then. So do you want to just give us some insight into how you got into the industry and where everything started?
Yes, definitely. So I completely changed my career. So I finished business management at uni, and after that, I was working in marketing and I was working in lettings. And for a quite long time, I was working as an investor manager, just dealing with sales and lettings for the agency. But it was 9 to 5 job, which was a little bit difficult for me because I feel like I constantly need to do something. It was 9 to 5 job. Work was very slow, so it wasn't for me, definitely. So I was thinking what else I could do that I'm interested in. And I did 1 year of beauty in college when I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and then I changed to IT and business, and I kind of went with that, which was at the end very beneficial for me to start the business, to do the business plan, like marketing and stuff like that. But I did 1 year in college with the beauty, and I was like, oh, maybe I should come back to it. Maybe I should go into this direction. And one day I went to do my eyebrows, and I went to a lady and she did my brows, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like, I was there on for 2 hours. She charged me quite a good amount, and I was like, yeah, I could try that.
Yeah.
So I went for a course, and I remember I didn't have a lot of money at that time. I was, I think, 24. And I remember my parents, they did lend me the money to go for the course. And I went for the course. It was like a 2 days microblading basic, and I absolutely hated the course. And on day one, after the theory and practice on latex, I called my mom and I was like, no, like, this is not for me. This was like a mistake. I don't want to do it. And she was like, just go for the day two. You're already there. You've already paid. Just finish the course. If you still don't want to do it, then you can just come back to your office job. Like, you still like didn't leave your like job, which was like on a contract, and it was like a good job as well. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I went on a day two, and I did live models on that day, and I absolutely loved it. And I was like, this is it. Like, I had to like try and do the actual treatment on the model and have like contact with the client, like this customer service, like communication, and I felt so much better. And I did the 2 models on day two, and I was like, yes, definitely, this is for me. And I kind of like went from there and attended like all the courses, learned all the techniques of permanent makeup, and it was like non-stop after that. So yeah, definitely no regret. That, yeah.
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever spoken to anyone who said like the first day of their training they like hated it. What was it about the first? And obviously
Yeah.
it would have been theory, but what was there anything specific that like made you just really not want to do it?
Yeah, I think because I did it 7 years ago, it was like, I think it wasn't, permanent makeup wasn't so expanded and so popular at that time. And it was quite good for me because now I teach other people and I know what kind of mistakes were made on that course 7 years ago, which I attended, and I didn't like it. And I think the teacher, she wasn't passionate about it. She was just like showing us what we have to do. She had like a PowerPoint presentation. It wasn't very interesting. It was quite boring. And she just showed us like the pattern of the hair stroke, but it was, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. Maybe I wasn't feeling it at that time, or maybe she wasn't showing us the right way to start and to love the permanent makeup. So somehow I was a bit like, I'm not really like into it. So I think the main issue, it was lack of passion when it comes to that teacher. And I think the microblading itself, the knowledge and everything about it was very, very little. Right now it's like very expanded with the colors and brands and the techniques we can show to students. And at that time it was just like one pattern, one brand of pigment, just a PowerPoint presentation. There you go. There is a latex skin. There's a microblading pen. Just go with it. You done. You can go and do clients. So it wasn't really that vibe I was hoping for. So with the obviously with the academy that I have now, I'm trying to show like this is so great and so interesting, and I'm really passionate about it. So I hope my students will feel the same at the end of the course.
You're so right, because I remember in school, it was always the subjects where you had a good teacher. That's the ones you enjoyed.
Yeah.
And it's so
Yes.
true, like how can you expect your students to have passion for this industry if you don't?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's common sense. But I speak to a lot of practitioners like yourself who take what they didn't learn, or take the mistakes from their initial training, and it actually makes them a better academy, because you think,
Yeah.
I don't want to do it like that. I'm going to ensure that I do it this way. So I think that's a really good point to make. At what point did you decide that you wanted to do the teaching side?
So it was, I think it was after 2 or maybe 3 years when I felt like very confident with all the treatments. And I had some clients and friends asking me like, oh, you're so good, like your brows are really good. Like, why are you not like teaching other people? And I was like, maybe I could. But obviously there was like some specific qualifications I had to get. And I was like, I don't have the time, like I'm so busy with clients. And luckily there was COVID and I had so much spare time, and there was so many online courses and like video courses. So I'm like, okay, this is the time, this is the right time for me to start my qualification as a teacher. So I did start, and during the whole like lockdown, I was just like writing, doing videos, and like being on video call with the teachers just to make sure I'm going to get the qualification. Once it all will like came back to normal life, then I'm ready to teach people. I had time to like write my assessments and like my presentation for students, and like think how I want to like pass the right knowledge to them and get the right techniques. So I think it was mainly like other people like showing me that yes, you could be a good teacher, like your brows are really good, so it's the time for you to expand and go on to the next step and maybe do less treatments and just teach other people like your technique, which they really like.
I think that's lovely that it was other people that actually gave you that confidence.
Yeah.
Because it's, you think, okay,
Yeah,
maybe this is a sign. And I think that's great, because clearly it's something that you really, really enjoy, the teaching side of things.
yeah.
Just moving
Definitely.
into treatment side of things then. So obviously brows is like your number one, that's your kind of speciality.
Yes.
What other treatments do you offer at the moment?
So I offer lip blush, which is the permanent, semi-permanent lips. So we do color on the lips. So that's another thing which becomes like more and more popular now. People adding a little bit of color, defining the lips, especially after filler. Many lips lack of the contour, and it's all kind of like blended. So many people are looking for like a nice cupid bow. So we can go with like a very natural lip blush, a very natural color, like a powder pink, like a very, very nice and natural look. I also do laser treatments, which is a little bit on the side. I don't really advertise. I have my like regular clients, and I do some hair removal, like skin rejuvenation, carbon peel, and I also remove brows from like years ago, which are now like blue, red, and
That's
gray.
like mine are like off, you know, when they blend in as one. Like, I need to get mine lasered so bad, but I bet that's really nice for you, because then you can just like start afresh with that client. And
yeah, sometimes I have clients and they book in and I'm like, no, like you need laser, like sorry, but I can't work on them. So I'm glad I have a laser so I can offer this. It's a little bit of a longer process for them, but it's so worth it at the end, so we can have like fresh brows, fresh color, and especially like those blue and gray brows were done like 10 years ago, which was like a different technique, like very bold brows, like blocky brows, and now all is like very light and nicely faded ombre. So obviously with removing them with laser first, I have a space to do like a new technique, which is like nice, light, and definitely more naturally looking.
yeah, amazing. One thing that I think a lot of people struggle with within this industry is building the client base, especially in permanent makeup, because with the nature of what you do, you might not see your client for like a year or a year and a half, because it's not like aesthetics where, you know, every 3 months you need Botox doing. So what's worked for you in terms of actually being able to consistently get new clients through the door?
Yes, that's like the biggest worry of all my students when they come in and say like there's so much competition, and they say there is so many girls now doing permanent makeup, and as you've mentioned, like you only see your client once a year, and it is very difficult. And I always say to my girls, there is no such thing as competition. If you're gonna do 110%, if you're gonna stick to everything what I kind of like teach you when it comes to social media marketing and how to promote yourself, there is a client for everyone. Even my husband sometimes say when I look for models for my courses, he's like, you always have models, like where do all the girls come from? Like,
Yeah.
where do you find them? And I'm like, I've been doing this for like 7 years. And I was like, 7 years ago, there was a girl and she was only 11 years old. And now she's 18 and she realized she doesn't have good brows. So I'm like, this is never ending, because we're going to have more and more girls. They're like growing up and finding out I don't have brows, so I need to get them done, and I can get permanent makeup. And the way I usually find them, and that's what I tell to my students, the best way is to definitely start locally and do first 10 brows completely for free with a friend of a friend, and then they can show off the brows to other people. And I had many examples like that with my students. They did like 5 sets of brows for free, and there was like one girl, she was working in the office, she went to work with beautiful brows, and then 10 girls after that messaged her and said, oh, I love like Emily's brows, can I get mine done? So it's like a walking advertisement. So I always say, yes, you do 10 treatments for free, and yes, you have to like put this effort, and you have to obviously take your time to do the brows for free, but it's going to pay off in the future, definitely. So do models for sure. And definitely messaging all the salons, especially on Instagram, and maybe work on like commission basis and see which salon doesn't offer permanent makeup, microblading. So this is how I started as well. I was messaging all the salons, and I've said like I do offer microblading, and if you would be willing to promote me on your website, then I'm happy to come to your salon like 1 day a week and do your clients. And the salon was taking commission because they offered me clients, and I was taking the rest, and I didn't have to worry about the clients. So there was like many ways to get your clients. And at the moment now, like I don't do any advertisements, any Facebook, any Instagram, because it's like just people like talking and recommending me to each other, because they can see the brows like whenever they go. So it works very well.
I think that's such a good point to make, because you can, when someone has fresh microbladed brows, you can always tell. And I think you're so, it's made me think back to when I first got mine done like 8 years ago or something. I got mine done because a girl in the office came in and she had hers done.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, where did you go? And I was like, okay, I'll just go there. Like I didn't really do any research. I was and people in the office environments, everyone just wants what everyone else has got, and it's so true. Like the clients are your walking advertisement. So true.
Have recommendations from someone, then you don't look for other places, because it's easier to go to someone that you know your friend already like went, so you feel confident with that person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really good point there. Do you want to talk a little bit about your public speaking then, because I know this is something that you do quite a lot of, and I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's very nerve-wracking, definitely. And I've been always told when I was doing business management at uni, like fake it until you make it, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Even right now, I'm not like that, you know, confident about everything, but that's how I kind of like have this in my mind. Just show everyone you'll feel confident, and everyone will feel the same, but deep inside, definitely not. But yeah, when it comes to public speaking and like being the speaker, like it is really good experience. So you've probably seen last month I've been to Athens in Greece as a non-stop speaker. So I had a great chance to show the powder brows technique and answer like a few questions live, and I did like a live demo, and basically people could just come up to me and ask me what kind of pigments you use, what kind of needle, what technique, and I could just present the technique and talk a little bit more about what I'm doing. And next year I'm going to Indonesia to be the prime speaker, and it will be actually on stage, and I'm a little bit like, yeah, I need to like practice and prepare myself for that, because it will be a very big event and there will be a lot of people from other countries, but it will be like a lot bigger from all the venues I've been to. So yeah, it's quite nice to be invited and to share with other people like the technique we do. So they usually ask people from other countries, because every country has like its own pigments, techniques, and it's very nice to learn from other people. Like even when I went to Athens, and I feel like I've learned so much from people from other countries, because they do things differently, and this is exactly why they do events like that, and they invite speakers from around the world.
Yeah, because there's different trends as well, isn't there? Like, there's different trends in each country. That's such a good point.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of very ambitious practitioners out there. There's a lot of practitioners that they want to do things like that. What advice would you give to someone who's interested in like public speaking or wants to win an award? Because like you clearly have to get to that point before you get asked to do these things.
Yeah, you need to be really confident with your work and even with yourself. Like even when you're applying for an award, you have to keep in mind you're gonna have to go out on stage and maybe say something. You don't have to, but you need to kind of be out there. So when it comes to the awards, you can apply online. And with most of the awards, you fill out the application form and they ask you like a few questions like, why do you think you should win? What is your experience, your qualification, your achievements? Do you do anything for charity and stuff like that? So they're going to ask you a few questions and you just write about yourself and you just send your best picture, usually like before and after. Depends on the awards, and then you can apply and there is like a judge and they're going to pick a runner-up and a winner. So last week, well, it was Saturday actually, a few days ago, I was a judge for one of the awards and I had to pick the runner-up and winner. So I've received like a few applications from different businesses and I had to go through them and see which one was the best. And I was looking obviously at the work, but also like overall, what did they put in the application, what experience do they have, and basically just read a little bit more about them. So with the awards, it's really, really good because it will put you out there and it's much easier to get to the awards rather than like public speaking. So I would definitely start with the awards, even if people will put like on Google, like beauty awards and Manchester or London, there will be a lot. You can have a look on Instagram and see which one are the best for you, and like venue, people and stuff like that, and you can choose 2 or 3 and you can apply, and then fingers crossed you're going to go through to the next stage and then you will be invited to a gala, and usually it's either 5 or 10 top finalists, and then the judge will pick the winner. But when it comes to public speaking, you have to be kind of like invited. So you have to be seen by someone else. So in order to be noticed, you just have to keep going and do what you're doing. Just make sure you do something new all the time. You do master classes yourself, you educate yourself, you come up with your own technique, and definitely you need to show your face on Instagram. If you're not showing your face, people will not notice you as much. So it's good to do like photo shoots, do like talking story at least once a week, and just be out there more and more, and definitely support other businesses because it's very important. If you do not have contact and if you do not support other businesses from the same industry, you won't be seen by other people. So just like the Wool of Greece, I was invited to be a speaker on the PMU Indonesia, and they did notice me because I was very close with other PMU artists, and I was just like supporting them and like commenting, sharing other people's work. And this is exactly what they're looking for, to be supportive for everyone, not to be just with yourself and just do training and treatments, but also be a good example for other people, and also support everyone else.
That is really good advice. Oh my God. Like what that I was like, this is just that was really, really good advice. So yeah, guys, take that advice. I think the social media aspect, like you mentioned, is so important these days. You know, clients, students, anyone, they look for you, not just your work.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
people. And yeah, guys, like just go out there. And if you think, right, I want to take the next step, I'm proud of what I do and what I've built, nominate yourself for an award. Why not? And like you say,
Yeah.
even having a nomination, that will give you exposure, because all the awards, they promote all of their nominees, don't they? So it's just giving you extra exposure. Amazing advice.
Definitely.
Absolutely love that. Just on the flip side then, what advice would you give for somebody who is wanting to learn semi-permanent makeup, but they literally don't know which academy to go with? There's so many academies out there. So what advice would you give to someone in terms of what they should look for in an academy?
I would definitely say to look for, firstly, for the work the actual teacher is showing, because there are many different techniques. So, for example, there might be some PLU artists that focus, for example, on like bold, more thicker look of the brows. Some people would go with lighter brows like me. So see which technique you like the most yourself, because if you don't like the look of a specific technique, you won't be happy to do the technique on the client. So make sure you like the look of the brows, the look of the lips. And then I would be looking obviously for the students, for the feedback. If there are any like pictures of students like doing models, if there are any pictures of models, so how well the student actually did on the day after the 2-day course, how the brows look on a model. So it shows you how well they got the knowledge from the teacher. And so definitely look for that. Make sure the academy is accredited. There are many different accreditation companies, so it could be any. You do not have to look for anything specific. Just make sure it's fully accredited. It's very good if it's internationally accredited. So if you ever want to move to like Spain, any other country, make sure that certificate will be valid, so you can take your work with you, because it's very good. You can be PMU artist anywhere. You're going to find a job anywhere in the world. So it's something that you can just move on and just open your own business just anywhere. So definitely look for accreditation and look for videos and pictures of the courses. There are many like reels on Instagram which shows how the course look, the course contents, if there is a starter kit included, and just look at the teacher, whether they have any like special qualifications and achievements, if they're approachable, if they're friendly. So just to make sure you'll be happy to speak with them as a friend on a course, and you wouldn't be afraid to ask them any questions. So for me, it's very important for students to feel with me as a friend, so they can ask me anything. I do offer like ongoing support after my course. We have a WhatsApp group, and if there are any problems with the brows, with models, if they have any questions, they can always message me, call me, or pop into the shop and double check with me. Because obviously when they finish the 2-day course, they still a little bit or even a lot unsure about what they're doing. So I always say to them, send me a picture of your next model. I will advise what kind of pigments I would use, needles, shape. So you will have an idea what to do with that model. So the ongoing support after the course is very important, because I know many educators like do the course, they finish it, and that's it. It's very difficult for students to contact with them to get like a further advice. And 2 or 4 days course, it's still okay, it's still a lot, but it's definitely not enough for them to feel confident every day. So it's very important for the students to receive an ongoing support from the teachers.
Yeah, 100%. You've made me want to come and train with you. I'm like,
Ah.
academy. So guys, if any of you out there are looking to do any training, whether it be a masterclass where you're wanting to improve your skills, or you're new to semi-permanent makeup, I'll put all of Maya's information below and you can go and drop her a message. Just another thing, Maya, as well. obviously with the aesthetics industry, there's all this talk on like regulation coming in and everything like that. I think a lot of aesthetics practitioners should consider going into semi-permanent makeup. I know there's a lot of people who do both already, but I feel like it'd be a no-brainer because you've got your client base there. With you have to go through the licensing process for semi-permanent makeup, so that's probably going to be happening for aesthetics as well. Are you finding that more aesthetics practitioners are looking into that at the moment?
Yes, definitely. I have many people already based in the beauty industry, and it's so much easier for them to learn because they do have that contact with client, and they tend to start a lot quicker than other people because they have already client base. And I do have many people that come into the course and they say, I booked in this course with you today because my clients asked me to, because all my clients asked me, oh, please do the brows because I really want to get semi-permanent makeup. And many of them decided to do this because of the clients. So they already have clients waiting for them. So I had someone last week doing microblading course, and she said to me, I have so many clients waiting for these treatments, and she's so busy already doing brows like every day. And she was doing nails, and she was doing like a brow lamination and the lashes, so just like some basic things. And many clients said to her, like, please do the brows. And she's very busy with brows. She's really happy. And so definitely I would see people from other professions wants to do permanent makeup aesthetics as well. I did have someone last month, she was on like lip fillers, Botox, so she's having many clients for permanent brows. She's even doing like combo deals like Botox and lip blush and stuff like that, so it works very well, especially with lip fillers. So she combined both of them. She's doing like a great packaging on that. So yeah, definitely. But I would say it's much easier for people already experienced in the beauty industry to learn permanent makeup because they have like this kind of like a good vibe with clients already, and it's much easier for.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I think anyone who does aesthetics should consider semi-permanent makeup because it's just an extra treatment. Like you say, they go hand in hand with lip filler, like they could, you know, the brows and the lip blush, they can complement someone's face so well in conjunction with aesthetic treatments, which is great. So again, all of Maya's information will be below if you'd like to do some training. Just to finish on a more kind of positive note then, Maya, can you think of a sort of time within your career that you look back on and you think, oh, do you know what? Like, I'm so proud of what I've built here and I'm so proud of what I've achieved. Is there like a specific client you've treated or like an event that you've done or anything like that?
Yes, I do have moments. I'm very like harsh to myself, so I'm always like, it's not enough, more and more and more. My husband is really good because he's always telling me, you're doing so much, like just you know, enjoy it. I'm always like, no, I need to do more and more and more. Yeah, when you're self-employed and when you're own boss, you're working even more like than you imagine, because you're kind of like pushing yourself, which is good. But I would say probably the best moment so far was the non-stop speaker at the Wool-Up Athens in Greece. I think that was the moment when I was like, I feel like appreciated by other people from the industry, which is like the best, because obviously it's very nice to be appreciated by clients. It's amazing, but to be appreciated by other professionals from other countries, that's definitely something you are looking for. So I think that was like a really nice moment for me to receive like an award for that. It was like a really nice feeling to be appreciated by other people. But there were like many examples of clients which made me like really happy. I did have someone and she suffered alopecia and she didn't have a lot of hair, and I remember I did her brows and she did cry. She was like, you changed my life. And I was like crying with her. I was like, oh my God, like, but yeah, I had like many clients saying to me, like, you've changed my life. Like, I'm a new person. I'm more confident now. And I'm not afraid to go out and to meet other people, because you wouldn't imagine how much brows are affecting people and how people can feel like insecure without good brows. I wouldn't even realize myself until I had so many clients messaging me even on the next day and even at night saying I'm still looking at them and I feel like a new person. So it's amazing how you can change life with just brows. And it's like the most rewarding part of the job.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't have a bad day at work when you're literally helping someone's confidence or insecurity or even a medical condition. You know, it's I've got goosebumps thinking about it. Like you're right, it's so rewarding. And I think as well, it's not until after clients have had the treatment that's when they think, oh my God, like I feel like so amazing after this, because like you say, you wouldn't think, oh, a new set of eyebrows is going to make you feel like incredible, but it really does. It really does.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today, lovely. I've absolutely loved speaking with you. I can't wait to see what else you get up to in the next 12 months. It seems like you're going to be taking over the semi-permanent makeup world, which is incredible. Thank you so much, lovely. It's been really great speaking.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
No worries, lovely. All right, you take care. I'll speak to you soon.
My love. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.